Hi, this is a different kind of video, and I just want to make a little news blurb about how our little town has been reacting to the first case of the coronavirus in the state of Oregon in the United States. So now this newspaper is our local small town newspaper, and they do charge to view it online, but I have a physical newspaper here, so sometimes you're just going to see a screenshot. And I'm not going to read through all of the articles, but so on the front page, it's keep calm, stay informed, life goes on after coronavirus hits LO. So, yes, COVID-19 has arrived. No, you should not panic. So I just want to share with you, how we are reacting in the state of Oregon in our little town. So then it goes through what a little bit about the coronavirus patient and where it was and where he tested positive. They did close the school down. It talks about the coronavirus. And then if you go on it, talking about cover your coughs, wash your hands, avoid close contact with people who are sick, which is interesting because we know that there's like an incubation period anywhere from 17 to 21 days. So people can walk around with it and not know it. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Clean and disinfect surfaces that are often touched. Take care of your health overall, staying current on your vaccinations, including the flu vaccine. Eating well and exercising all help your body stay resilient. Consult the COD's travel website for any advisories. So then it goes on to some of the local responses. Deep cleaning and a suggestion of a 14-day waiting period. And that's what they did with the school. They closed it down for 14 days and then they deep cleaned, and now it's reopened. Uh, a neighboring town in Hillsboro, Oregon also has several cases. And then more testing being done. Tests for 7 patients come back negative, which is good. 115 people remain under monitoring, whatever that means. Meaning, they didn't have symptoms, but they've been exposed to the virus through close contact or travel to China, which is interesting because one of the states, we're still allowing planes to come in from Italy and stuff. And the person who came in from Italy reported that they weren't tested when they came off the plane nor anything. So, okay, so we have that one. The next one is the State of Emergency Board pours $5 million into the COVID-19 fight. And this is a story about the COVID-19 following a feeble end to Oregon's 2020 legislation, and that kind of did a weird thing. It has about $75 million at its discretion, discussed briefly, and unanimously approved emergency allocations, including $11.5 million for flood relief and $5 million, right, which isn't going to be enough for the COVID-19 efforts. And so the state of Oregon did file a state of emergency, and that helps allow them to get federal funding. Then we have quarantined Hillsboro nurse says the COVID-19 patient initially released. So she came to ER and was released days before being diagnosed. And here you have to do the wallet, and here I don't have the article because it's a different part of the whole conglomerate newspaper. So then we have here a chocolate shop owner closes the store due to coronavirus. And he isn't taking any chances, and he decided to close his store. Now I'm going to go to, this is some of the news. Now I don't know where I can do this. So I am going to continue. I have some screenshots here. Hold on. So I have some screenshots that I'll put up, and I'm going to just keep talking. So one of the other news articles that I don't have access to is the grocery store shelves are wiped clean, and this is how the people are responding. Hand sanitizer gone, disinfecting wipes gone. Cleaning supplies are being wiped out across the local grocery store shelves, and even toilet paper seems to be disappearing, almost like a widespread apocalyptic panic. Don't worry, though, the world isn't ending. As concern spreads throughout the world about COVID-19, a disease caused by the novel coronavirus, people are flocking to grocery stores and stocking up on cleaning products, masks, hand sanitizer, and supplies are running low. So that's kind of a little bit what's going on there. And then the other interesting article, kind of tucked in the middle of this, is about transgender allowed to go to the bathroom in this middle school. And I was really surprised trying to find the article because I only have a screenshot for it. But the middle school, of all things, right? So I think that's kind of young in my personal opinion, and I wouldn't want my daughter going to school and having a guy, I don't care, in the same bathroom. So, the headline reads, "The right to use a bathroom. LOSD set to have genderless bathrooms at LMS." But what exactly does that mean? And here's a little picture of the design of how the bathroom's going to be. It shows the layout of the genderless bathroom. The reason that people get assaulted isn't because they're in a gender-neutral bathroom. It's because our society teaches men that it's their right to take advantage of women. And go figure, right? This shows you a little bit of, I'm in a very liberal state, and so there's swinging this like as if, slating it in the news, like as if it's okay to say these things, but it's okay if it's a woman that says it, and it was a woman that said it, who is a high school student. So I want you to understand that. It's also age related to what's happening. So genderless bathrooms. Many worried about student safety and were frustrated with a perceived lack of communication at recent meetings. The bathrooms will look similar to genderless bathrooms at other middle and high schools. The district worked closely with the Design Advisory Committee, whose members included district parents. The Design Advisory team met regularly to talk all about the design aspects of the new school, including bathrooms. So it's saying, the toilet rooms are floor to ceiling to ensure privacy. And if I were to go back to 2018, knowing what we know now, I think I would do more, where it's a little bit more of an incentive process. We can start with information, data, and education about the different types of bathroom design so that we can maybe help bring the community a little more to progress. So there's just a lot of connotation here. They're putting in genderless bathrooms for middle school students. The other thing to close this out, because I had to have a sense of humor because I was reading this, is our local police laws. And this kind of gives you an insight as to the mind of the small town. So this is really funny. So there's somebody was lodged at a jail on warrants. Okay, so accidents, I'm not going to read. Thefts, a couple pairs of sunglasses and portable batteries were reported from an unlocked vehicle. Mails was stolen. A bottle containing about 30 Xanax pills was stolen when somebody's daughter had a party. A set of golf clubs and other related accessories valued at was stolen near. A stolen golf clubs were reported by email. fraud. A woman was contacted by Sprint, who informed her that someone had attempted to open an account in her name. A caller said a patient of theirs had been scammed. A credit card was opened in someone's name. A woman came into a bank to get money from an account that wasn't hers. A resident said someone's pretending to be from Comcast. Something was stolen from a personal account. Miscellaneous. A caller had questions about solicitation signs. A resident said someone went through her mailbox. A resident was concerned about someone who couldn't stop shaking, who said she'd been sleeping in her car and seemed confused. A juvenile custody dispute was reported. A man was seen looking in vehicles in a parking lot. A caller was concerned about someone who hadn't answered a call for an hour. The person was fine. An older man with a pink ribbon around his neck was seen walking. I'm sorry. Do we have more time than this? A woman said a car sped up behind her and the driver honked and yelled before following her a bit. The caller believed a neighbor was a known drug abuser and thought a person was dealing because there were lots of foot traffic. A caller asked what regulations were for flying drones. A resident said they saw a drug deal take place. A man was sleeping on a stairwell in a building. Sorry, my earphone fell out. In a building near the... A woman said she was homesick and found kids in her backyard. A man who appeared to be homeless was walking through a playground and looking at items left behind by the kids. A person had been sleeping in a car. A wall was damaged in a bathroom. A caller said a therapist and her son's therapist both had deaths in the family, and her friend had a house fire and believed her ex-husband might be behind it all. I'm sorry to laugh, but it's just like, wow. And I never read these. And this goes on. This miscellaneous thing goes on. A suspicious looking person was seen walking up and down the street. A caller said someone was harassing neighbors by leaving paperwork on the door that said, "Go to hell." A suspicious looking person was walking around again. A caller said they were going through a divorce and their father-in-law was causing tension. A man spoiled himself. Possibly threatening messages were drawn on chalk in the street in an undisclosed location. A suspicious-looking man was looking at a camera. Someone was going through cans. A parent and child were seen skateboarding without their helmets on. A house was spray painted. A suspicious-looking person was seen going through the recycling bins. A caller believed she heard gunshots. The caller said someone was pounding on her door. A man said his wife was refusing to let him in their home and didn't know what to do. A caller said her boyfriend told her that he was coming over and if she didn't like it, she could call the police. A resident was screaming in the parking lot and then started throwing things. Someone was sleeping in the doorway. Someone was reportedly smoking marijuana. A rude wake-up call, a dog had been barking on and off since 1. A caller believed someone was breaking into their house downstairs, but it turned out to be their nephew. A caller told a long story about a protective order and was against their stepchildren's mother and said the mother who lived in California was acting crazy. The resident had questions about the use of drones. A dog had somehow gotten onto the roof. And it goes on. You guys, it just goes and shows you some of what's going on behind the doors. This one. A woman was puzzled after a man she didn't know took her keys and threw them into the river. Isn't that amazing? People were noticed sitting inside a car. They were construction workers who were out of gas and had a flat tire. Anyway, hope you had fun. God bless you.